Okay, for those of you who are still having trouble solving some of these vector problems, I want to go through the two concept check example problems from the notes with y'all and see if there's anything that will help you as you're kind of working on them on your own. So the first thing to do is make sure to draw the diagram. So it has a boat crossing the river at 4 meters per second east, but the river travels downstream at 13 south. What is the magnitude and direction of the boat's resultant vector? So I draw the 4 to the east, that's my A vector, my component, and I draw the 13 south, that's my B vector component down. The resultant goes from the beginning to the end, and the angle is between A and C. So if you look at your equations list that you have here, so this is the general setup for the triangle. The resultant is C, theta is between A and C, A and B are the components, and A is always the horizontal, B is always the vertical. Whether it looks like this or it looks like this, that doesn't matter. Okay. Secondly, here's your list of equations for the triangles. Ignore these for right now. So if I'm solving for C, I use Pythagorean theorem. If I'm solving for theta, I use tangent. If I'm solving for cosine, I use A. If I'm solving for sine, if I'm using B, I use sine. Solving for A, I use cosine. Solving for theta, use tangent. Solving for C, use Pythagorean theorem. So what I do on this first one is I say, okay, I want to find C. So how do I find C? C is for using Pythagorean theorem. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Square them, add them together. That'll give you C squared. Square root that answer, and that'll give you 13.6. To get the angle, we use tangent. Tangent goes with the angle. So tangent is B over A. That's just from the equation itself. Okay, B over A. So B is 13, A is 4. Divide them out to get 3.25. Now I don't want tangent of theta, I want theta. So if you look on my calculator here, divide 13 by 4 first. That gives me 3.25. But that's equal to the tangent of theta. To get just theta, I have to do the inverse tangent, so that's 10 negative 1. Just like to get C, I had to square root C squared to get just C. To get theta, I have to tan negative 1 tangent. And when I do that of the number I just got, that gives me 72.9 for the angle. Okay? I do the exact same kind of thing for 10. So down here for 10 now, I'm going to do the exact same idea. The only difference is instead of given A and B, I'm solving for A and B. And I'm given C and theta. Okay? How do you solve for A and B? Well, A goes with cosine, B goes with sine. So, cosine is A over C, theta is 35, C is 200. So figure out what the cosine of 35 is first, 0.819. Multiply C to both sides to get A by itself, and you get 163.8. And again, I didn't do the negative cosine, I just did regular cosine because I don't need to find theta, I'm given theta. So I just do cosine 35, and they gave me this, 0.819, multiply the 200 to both sides. Okay, and there's your answer, 163. Okay, then I do the same thing with sine, but this time I'm using it to solve for B. Okay. Sine of 35, that's 0.574. Again, you use your calculator to find those. Multiply the 200 to both sides, and you get your answer 114.7. If you're still having trouble, let me know, and I'll try to help you with it a little bit more.